Hi, everybody. Welcome. Whew, sorry, it's a hot one here today. Can't have the AC on because then you wouldn't hear me. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm starting today with some pups. I'm making gluing down. I'm going to glue down some pup pieces on this grocery bag paper. What is that? That's gross. Anyway, um, and I cut these down to hopefully become a book cover, so they'll nicely fit the um, a folded 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And then we're going to do some gel printing, and then we're going to do. I'll show you a couple of other things, just kind of catch it up. But let me get to saying hello to everybody. I've said hello to some people in chat, but let's say hello again, everybody. Hi, Rosemary. Saul's here. Hi, Saul. Hi, Zal. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Aubrey. Debbie. Hi, how are you? Hi, Penka. Glad to see everybody here. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's much appreciated. So basically, like I said, I'm going to glue down some pups first. And now this paper, the grocery bag paper, is quite absorbent. So sometimes I got to go back and add more glue. I'm using um, the Blick Rillic. It's the one that P likes to use over at PM Artist. It's the economy acrylic polymer from Blick. So that's what I'm using here. And it does dry quickly, so you got to kind of work fast. Um, and like I said, this grocery bag paper, it gets a little bit is absorbent, so it sucks it up pretty quickly. Hi, Sherry. How are you? All right. And yeah, so I thought today we could do some of this. And because I have a lot of these pups or pickup papers, term coined by PM Artist Studio. And I got to make use of them because they're taking up space. And might as well use it if you got it, right? So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to show you because I don't know if I'll be able to go live on my birthday, which is July the 1st, which is new design release day over at PM Artist Studio. And there's several new designs coming out. They actually showed a few new ones yesterday at the stream. But I'm going to show you my design for July. It's a stencil, and we'll play with that on the gel plate as well. So yeah, like new design, obviously not available until the first of the month, but um, I figured let me show you guys because, like I said, I may not get a chance to be live on the first. So it's better if I'm just going to go ahead and show you because I also don't know if I'm going to be able to make a full video for it. And I think it's just more fun to interact with you guys on a live basis and show you what's going on. I think that's more fun. Plus, my regular videos have just not been getting any views, not like I'm used to, and it's kind of discouraging. It's kind of disappointing. Because like I look through Facebook. Hi, Kat, welcome. Because I look through YouTube, and I'm like, okay, this is a video of someone like basically doing like the most simplest inane thing yet it's got thousands of views. Like that blows my mind when I come across that. And it's very frustrating as a creator when you're trying to come up with like unique things, or you're trying to, at least get a decent amount. Considering how many followers I have, I should be getting a lot more views. So I don't know if it's an algorithm issue or whatever, but there it is. So it's frustrating. And my lives do generate more views, which is fantastic. And I wish I could do more, but at the moment, it is what it is. I come on when I can, and that's what it is. But yeah, we ply along. We plow along and hope for the best, and we'll see what happens. Thank you guys. No, I know you guys do. It's just frustrating because you see, like I said, you see these videos. It's like the person has done the same thing like 50 times, but for some reason they get all those thousands and thousands of views. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing different, but YouTube is not pushing out my content like it used to. So I think for me, doing lives is my best bet because I do make YouTube is one of my sources of income, one of my very few sources of income. And it really doesn't pay the bills. What it does is it helps me buy more art supplies. I mean, I wish I could get to a point where it can help me pay some of my bills, but that is not where it's at. YouTube is very cheap. Sorry, but that is the truth. Hi, Graham. How are you? Hope you got your coffee this morning. Saw your post. It was funny. Your post on Facebook. Um, yeah. So, like I said, I want to turn this into a book cover eventually. That's why I cut these sheets down to particular size so that it'll fit the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in half. Hello, Darcy. How are you? It is hot here today, kind of steamy. Can't really complain because we're not having a heat wave like over there. Hi, Alicia. Oh, thanks, Alicia. Right. Let's get this going. And I'm also noticing a lot of um, YouTubers are starting to recreate their or create their thumbnails using AI, and that's fine and all for them. But I really don't want to contribute to that whole that aspect. I don't want to contribute to that, so I'll continue doing mine just the way I've always done them. Not to say that if you do it, that's fine. That's all your that's your business. That's your prerogative. But you know, it's not for me. Oh, sorry, Darcy. Sending you healing hugs, my friend. I know it's not easy, but Darcy's been plowing along, putting out some fabulous content. I got to watch the latest one where she says, "Don't cry over spilled ink." I got to tear up some more of these. Let's see. Pulled out a few. Let's see. This one has some nice colors that'll go with that. That's a full pup sheet. All right, let me get to tearing. I want to tear into here because I want more of this middle area here. Oh, are you? Awesome, Darcy. Now, I don't know what other designers at PM Artist Studio are doing to launch their stuff for July. So I can't speak to that. But there's a lot of fun stuff coming out. So, keep an eye out. And as always, in Makers, they the content creators will post their links and stuff and their launch videos. However, they do it. Boy. Yeah, this is a good one. That one for sure. Yeah, I got a lot of tissue stuff. I'm like, oh, gosh, I gotta use it before I lose it. So hopefully you are all doing well. Hello, Eric. Welcome. I was up late yesterday. Bonsoir tu. Bonsoir tu. Did I say it right? Scrap Simone. Welcome. Are you in France or in another part of the world? Where are you? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. It's okay. I gotta cut up to one bit of that to finish this off. Bon. I speak culinary school French, by the way. That's my extent. Ooh, Alicia's sitting on her deck eating fresh, sweet 100 tomatoes. She just picked. That's the best. Fresh picked tomatoes. Nothing like it. When I was growing up, we had a big yard in the front, and my dad would grow. Well, he had a great green thumb, and he would grow corn. So this is in Boston. So we had in the front yard, we had stalks of corn, we had beans. Oh my God, so many beans, and we had tomatoes. And my auntie's cat, she lived on the second floor. Her cat would go down and he would eat um, chunks of the tomatoes on the plant. My dad would get so mad. Um, but it was the cutest thing. His name was Meech. He was my buddy. This was a long, long time ago. So Meech is no longer with us, but he was a fabulous cat. All right, let's see. Hello, Paula. Welcome. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. So save your grocery bags if you get any. Because I can't go grocery shopping. I get my stuff delivered. So I always get paper bags. So I try to save them as much as I can to use with in my art or for other stuff, try to make good use of it. So there's one. Let's do another one. Let me cut up some papers first, though. Cut up some pieces. Let's have some nice stuff on here. I've been enjoying looking at people's creations over in Makers lately. Folks are really creating some beautiful things. It's so nice to see people just sharing their work. There's a link in the description box to that group. It is a private group run by PM Artist Studio. And so when you ask to join, they're going to ask you 3 questions and you have to answer them and be honest. because it avoids trolls. It stops, people who just want to like promote something or whatever. So, you know, but it's a fun group where a lot of us here in the chat um, take part in and share our work. Ooh, this is a nice one, isn't it? But I think it's some more. I'm gonna put some off of here. I think this is a good one. You can tell how hot it is. Everything is sticking together. This is a what do you call that? This is deli paper that I'm using that these pups are on. I'm not too worried about the lines being straight. I'm just kind of because they'll overlap anyway. Oops, come on. It's not easy doing this when you're left-handed. Tell you what. Oh boy. I'll get some of those. Use that one. Oh, here's some good bits and pieces here. Okay. 37 degrees. Is that like that's I'm assuming in the high 80s Fahrenheit? I don't know. I can't get to my Googles right now to check. Yeah. We had a lot of rain here for the past 2 days, but it's it's been muggy and gross. Sticky wicky. Okay, this one's fun. I think that is more than enough for the next one. And I don't know what I'm going to put on the back side of them yet. Oh, 90, that's 98. Gross. Folks who said global warming was a hoax are feeling it now, aren't they? They'll still say it's a hoax. I watched some videos yesterday where people were being interviewed and whatever. This is Americans being interviewed, and there are people who still believe the earth is not round and that the earth is only 6,000 years old. Wow. The level of ignorance is astounding sometimes. And you just got to laugh because, like, otherwise you'll cry. It's so bad. And, like, they're adamant. Like, yeah, the Noah's Ark was real. Girl, please. That was not real. It's all made up. All of it's made up. And these are like older people too. So it's not like, they're just like, you know, um, in school and still learning. No, these are like adults who like have to function on a daily basis. And you wonder how they tie their shoes in the morning or like, just leave their house without getting killed. Strange folks out there. Hello, Mariah. While you're at Costco, can you pick me up some of that good fluffy toilet paper, please? Much appreciated. Hello, Vanessa. How are ya? Yeah, Europe is hot. Europe is hot. Come on, Europe. Get some air conditioners. Your people are hot. No, I don't like that one. Not good at all. No. Here we go. Let's do this. Yeah. Hi, Robin. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Hi, Uta. Welcome. Hello, Sherry. I am, those of you coming in, I'm gluing some pup strips to paper bag, grocery bag pieces that I cut down to fit a folded 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So these will eventually become book covers. And so far, I'm only doing one side, obviously, because I got to let one side dry. Well, hello, Carl Miller, aka Kathy. How are you? Welcome, everybody. Glad to see you guys here. Hope everybody's doing well. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll be gel printing soon. You'll get to see my new design for July. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to go live on my birthday, which is the first of the month, which is when everything gets released. All the new stuff gets released over at PM Artist Studio. So, give you a little sneak peek and let you think about, give you a week to think about whether you like it or not. Plus, I'm going to show you another stencil that I'm working on for future use. If you've been to my Instagram page, you'll see I posted some pictures today of a gel print that I did with a design I've been working on. And so, yeah. Now, I'll tell you what, I get better views on Instagram than I do on YouTube, which is hilarious. But I guess it's that whole lack of an attention span that folks have that they love the quick reels and all that good stuff. If you're just coming in, don't forget to hit that like button and share the stream. It goes a long way to help me out. And, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if you heard earlier, Mariah was talking about like how there are content creators out there putting out videos of like just some like lame old stuff, but they're getting thousands of views. And I'm like, wait, I'm making some really beautiful stuff over here, and I'm getting like not even a fraction of their views. And I'm like, this is just not cool, YouTube. Not cool. You know, Share the love. Maybe I'll start putting out some naked people on my thumbnails to get attention. Jeez. Sex sells apparently. But no, I'm not doing that. That's just a joke. Oh, here we do that. Now, I don't know if I'll be doing stamping on these like P does. Um, like obviously these will have to dry completely before I can even think of doing that. But it's a possibility. And P does some great stuff with her stamping on her pups. So I'm not even trying to compete. He's P is a professional. And if you don't know who P is Patricia. She's the P of PM Artist Studio, and she is a former art teacher. Well, she's still an art teacher because she teaches all of us. Um, and just a fabulous human being. Professional pupper, yes. Hello, Ann Webb. Welcome. I hope this is more entertaining than your Zoom call. All right, the last section here. Now, shoot, that was a half thought. I lost that one. All right, 2 done. See, it's very easy. It's quick. It's relaxing. Get a lot done. Now I don't have another sheet of this cut out, but I do have. I can have these. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me do a little cleanup work here. Because this is another thing P does is that she glues her pup strips to other gel prints or like, on tissue. So I'm going to do that too. Coffee time for Zal. Yeah, I forget what is it? Is it 10 o'clock? No, it's got to be like 9 in the morning over there, Zal. What time is it over there where you are? So I'm going to glue strips to the back of this. Because why not? Ethics and art. This one I like. I'm going to cut some pieces off of this. Wine in the freezer. 10:30. Okay. What kind of wine, Paula? Is it a Pinot Gris? Is it a Riesling? Oops. They're all wonky, Eddie. Come on, focus. All right. Pinot. Now, I do love a red, though. I love a red wine. I do love a red wine. Oh, Paula, please. When I lived in Florida, southern Florida, where it got up pretty hot, I always drank red wine. Loved it. This is, I believe, on. Yeah, this is wet stripe tissue. I had to test the rip. It doesn't rip as easily as other papers. So and if you're just joining me, this is the medium I'm using to glue these down. It's the Blickrylic or the Blickrylic, or basically it's the Dick Blick that P loves to use. Um, I happen to get some because it's economical and it works. I do have another one too that's a gloss. So because this one's more of a, it's not matte, but it's not shiny either. Greek night in Paula's house, sardines and salad pies. Ooh, sardines, sorry. No, I can't do that. I mean, hey, if you like a sardine, good for you. Just not my cup of tea. Bourbon ice cream, yes. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. Need some ice cream in that weather, that's for sure. Saw a video yesterday from of bus drivers in London. So hot because they don't have air conditioning on their buses, obviously, and they're getting like they're pouring like cold water on their head because it's just so hot on their vehicles. It's just terrible. This is, see, the summer is when I really miss living in the city because I can't get to art shows or anything like that. Not here, but you know, one day, one day we'll be back there. Hello, Carla. How are you? Mm-mm. We're gluing down some pups, Carla. Now, obviously, gluing tissue to tissue is a lot easier, or the deli paper to tissue is a lot easier than that grocery store bag because that stuff sucks up moisture real fast. You got to use extra. That's a good piece in here. Awake at last. Oh no, I've been awake since very early. I'm usually up about 5 in the morning. Have a coffee, listen to some news, watch some videos, take care of any admin, because life ain't all about YouTube. Got to pay the bills. And as soon as you pay them, they're back. They come back. But yeah, there was a report that a lot of Americans are more and more relying on credit cards and stuff like that to just get by on a day-to-day basis, week to week. So there's a lot of us on that boat. It's not easy. But we do what we can and plow along. All right. Who's gonna watch that sad concert tonight from the White House or from wherever they're having it to celebrate the country's birthday? Mm. Sorry, I hear Cash Patel's girlfriend is gonna sing. Bring your earplugs, folks. Wear your earplugs. Nice. You see, I don't know. Can you see like the color coming through there? It's hard to see, but the color from the pups is coming through the open part of the design. That's why I chose that. It's kind of cool. All right. Lots of stuff drying around here. It shouldn't take too long. It's like I said, it's bloody hot. Oh, come on, Mariah. Don't you want to watch Lee Greenwood play his racist music? All right. Make the weather better around. Oh no, I'm not saying don't celebrate it. I'm saying, are you going to watch that sad ass concert that everybody canceled out on him for? What a sad man. Hi, Becky. How are you? Yeah, da. Hello, Karen. Welcome. Better you than me, because I am not watching any of that nonsense. That's just giving them the attention they need. Although elections in New York went fabulously. Very excited. Okay, so I wanted to show you a couple of things. Some of these you've seen already, but let me just see here. Okay, so from I think it was the last live stream where I did some of these tags. I came back in and did some more work on some of them, like This one I added a strip of rice paper that I'd stamped on, and then added this gel print to the back there. And then this one I did, this is Rhonda stencil, Dottie Miss Dottie, and I did heat embossing on here. Hi, Lucy. This is heat embossed. And then on the back, it was inky. And then I had circles punched out from gel prints that I glued on there. And then I used one of Darcy's flower center stamps on there to heat emboss. And look how cheeky I was. I took the extra bits of the circles that I cut off from here and here, and I just added them to the corners. These are fun, right? And then this one, a strip of gel print there with Paula. You see what's there, Paula? Bricks. And then some heat embossing here with this script stamp. Not bad. And then on the front, I did heat embossing. I forget the name of this stencil, so forgive me, but it is a PM Artist Studio stencil. It's a little messy because of the embossing stuff, but I liked it. This one was fun. So I had this piece of gel print here using the design is it Daisies? I forgot. It's something Daisies from PM Artists. But anyway, so I took and I did embossing on just some of the leaves and stuff. So I thought it was kind of cool. Tear there, and then some embossing on the front. This one I haven't done anything. Oh, these were from a while ago, a few streams ago. And then on the back, I put these gel prints. Going Daisies, okay. And some I remember, some I don't. And these are some stamped cicadas. These are my cicada stamps that I stamped on photo paper and kind of did that technique. I don't know, Louise Heinzel did it, where she sprayed the paper with water, a lot of water. It's matte photo paper. Sprayed it with a lot of water and then stamped it with distress oxide inks. You get some really cool effects. Those, and these were from, I think, the last stream. I think I was thinking I was gonna put this one here. This is one of my spotted lantern flies. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one down while I'm thinking about it. There we go. Nice. It's good. Then I think on this one, I'm gonna put this little guy. This one turned out really nice. Oh, don't ask me which ink I used. They're just dress oxides, but I forgot which color. I should have written it down. But when you're in the throes of creating, you don't always remember to take notes. Well, I don't. Now I had some other tags. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah. Some of the other tags from the last live stream are in here too in this pile. I'll show you some more. This one turned out really cool. Love that. Okay. Oh, this one turned out. This one went smudgy, but I still like it. I don't know what I'll use it for. This one I did on watercolor paper. Okay, you've seen these. These are like specimen cards, type of thing. And these are with the Distress Oxides inks. This is photo paper, matte photo paper, and then this is this is watercolor paper. Oh, and then these are the other tags. So I use some of my people. I couldn't find these people for the longest time, and I finally found them in some little random pile. And I used some postage stamps that coordinated. And on the back is my this is a, what do you call it? Texture paste through my words and action stencil. So it's like you can see the texture there. And then this young lady here. Yeah, the random people pile. And then this one here. And this is a piece of gel print that I had punched holes in. And those are fun. Save those. Like when you punch holes out of stuff, save those other bits because they're great in collage and stuff. And then the back is bricks. And then this one, the only other thing I did aside from adding the sentiment was I did heat embossing on the snowflake there. And on the back, there's a gel print with some gel print circles glued on there. It's fun. Fun bits. And then I have a video for this, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it out yet or not. It's not very exciting, but I have it, so I may put it out one day. Let's see here. So I did a collage just using gel prints in the same color family. So these are all I just cut them in strips, like 1-inch strips, and then I did strips, this way, that way, this way, and then added the gel print circles that I punched out. And then with my woody crayons, I just came in and just did some, remember Mariah, water soluble pencils? We were talking about that. I was laughing when I did that. Mariah and I had a whole conversation about that, but that's the thing. Yeah, I wish it would get 1 million views, Kat. I doubt that, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. So this is another book I made with gel prints, paper bags, grocery bags. And then the cover is pups as well. So I had extra paper, right, from these. So I made coordinating stuff that is not finished yet, but it's on, they're on index cards. So I can make them into like little folios or whatever, journal tags. These are bright orange index cards. And then I just glued them on, like some I did just straight side to side. And then up and down, and just these are like leftover bits and pieces. I used pretty much all of the gel prints that I picked out for this, except for maybe like a couple of little pieces that just, um, are not, um, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, so this one, these are at an angle, up and down, angle. Yeah, so it's not a good way to use up your gel prints. Make it whole your own little unique stationery set, right? Okay, so that's that. That's what I wanted to show you. Um, move some of this out of my way. Some of that. You can go there. All right, so I'm gonna get my gel plate out, but I wanted to show you something that you can get for yourself. And I think when you're gel printing, everybody should have one of these. This is your color wheel. And this particular color wheel setup, printout, whatever, is available at P Studio. It's a free download. This was created by P and Mariah, mostly P, but yeah, Mariah got it up on a PDF and all that. But yeah, you can download yourself this color wheel, and it takes you through, your primary colors, your secondary colors, neutrals, intermediates, and it gives you, tells you all that good info. Color wheel 101. So the circles here are primary and your squares are secondaries. So, your primaries are your yellow, magenta, blue. And so when you take your two primaries here, you get your secondary, which is your green. These two primaries make your orange. These two primaries make your purple. And then P talks about complementary colors. When mixed, will create a neutral color. So, for example, browns, grays, beiges. Um, so when you mix your yellow and violet, it's going to make a brown. Red and green, probably going to make a brownish. Um, and depending on obviously the amounts of each color that you use, it's going to depend on what you get. So that's why I always say experiment with your paints, play around. Blue plus orange, you're going to get brown. And it's a good thing to know your color wheel because I've seen this a lot. Um, artists like to make their own black, and because it's a more rich version than just straight out of the bottle black. That makes sense. Um, and then let's see why. Layering transparent colors requires thought into what is going to happen if. So your scenario is my yellow is too bright. Solution, add violet. How can I make my orange more of a peachy color? Add small amounts of blue. Um, this brown is too red. Add some green or blue and yellow. Right? Um, the red is too cool. Warm it up with touches of yellow. And adding white to your paint will make it opaque. So, like I said, this is available to download at pmartiststudio.com. I put mine on a heavier paper, so when I handle it a million times, it won't fall apart. So we put that there. You can go there. I gotta move stuff. there's my glasses. Great. That out of here. Don't need these. I'm gonna move that and take a drink. Okay, Paula, I'll wait for you. Hello, Carol. Welcome. Get some medicine. Put my paper towel down. Okay. So, oh, here's something I did recently. So this stencil here, this is my stencil. God, I forget the name. Ribbon something or other. Writing down. Ribbon Eye. Anyway, so this is the original Ribbon Eye. As you can see, got a lot of solid spaces. I was looking at it the other day and I'm like, I need more open spaces in this. So I took out my knife and I started playing around. And I took my stencil. Hi, Caroline. So I cut out extra bits. So wherever you see the white or the non-black, that's what I cut out. So maybe we'll use that today too. So it's got more open spaces, which I like. So it's sort of a redux of my original. I don't know if that will be out or not, but that's something you can do. If you buy a stencil, make it your own if you want. It's yours. You paid for it, right? And then these are two other ones. This is the design I posted today on Instagram. So this one is fun because when you brayer it out this way and then you flip the stencil over and then you brayer it this way, it creates a really cool design. I have a name for it, but it's not appropriate for here. But we'll play around with that too. Let's use that one first before we get on to the other one. Just play around. Yeah, now I do need paper. Here we are. All right. So we're talking about the color wheel and all that. Transparent colors. Now this one it's good with transparent. So we're gonna do this with transparent colors. It's gonna have to dry in between, but I'm trying to make it as thin as possible so you don't have to wait so long. Let's do some of this green gold. Where is my breaker? Okay. Now, if you guys have any questions, if you're new to gel printing and you're hanging out in the background, you have a question, feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer any questions. And if I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat knows. So, don't be afraid. So, thin layers. We're going to work with some thin layers here. Now, this one doesn't have a name yet, but if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the chat. No, you'll see. You'll kind of get it, and but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not that guy. Okay. All right, so we got our first layer here. Let's see here. You see how transparent it is. All right. Now, what if I were to I could put red against this, and that's going to create some cool brownie effects with the green. I could put blue and create, it'll just darken up the green. Now, what if I do orange? With the orange, it'll brown out the green too, you know. But let me let this dry. It shouldn't take that long. Another one. Well, Becky, there's some things that are funny and inappropriate, but then there are other things where it's just like, it's not. Let's do another layer on this one. Just mixing some of this nickel hazel yellow, and there's still wet paint on the stencil, so it'll mix in. Mm. And so far, these two are transparent paints, as you can see here. So I'm showing you that because I'm gonna show you how to layer these and get something cool. So unfortunately, this one got a little wonky there. That's weird. Okay. Let's go away. Now I did do what I thought might be a fun 5x7 version of this. And maybe a little too big. I don't know if I got my proportions right, but that's why, test things out. Get a smaller brayer here. Maybe in this one. Some azo gold. Sardines swapped out for chickens. All right, you got a menu update from Paula. She has swapped out her sardines for chicken souvlaki. Might as well. I got the 2 plates here. Let's fill them up. Why not? Zal. Zal might be onto it. This one's almost dry. All right. So it's not this way, because even this way, this design is the same. So it's a repeating pattern. You want to flip the stencil over. That's going to give you the opposite. Now I'm risking this because some of this might pull up, but I'm gonna plow ahead. Let's put down. Do some quinacridone magenta. Hopefully I didn't pull up too much of that green. I think I did. Now, you can't see the whole vibe here because, like I said, I kind of messed up. I pulled up some of that green, but once you put a whole color down, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. That's still wet. We're going to wait on that. All right, I'm gonna hit this with the hair dryer for a few seconds. I'm impatient. Well, hook fell on the floor. That's no fun. All right. So again, turn the stencil over. Let's get some blue on here. This is manganese blue hue. Let's see, we get some white paper under here so you can see what's going on there. Like I said, it'll be easier to see the whole effect once we get a pull color on these. So you just got to be patient here. Okay, Paula, are you back, my love? Can I show my new stuff here? Clean this off. Flop off onto this deli paper. All right, there we go. Hello, Nancy. Welcome. All right, guys. So this is my new one. This one will be out July 1st. It's I think I called it Twisted Flower, but I don't know if that's the name and going to be in the shop, but it'll be under Eddie. You'll find it. Hi, Martha. This is the 9x12. There will be an 8x10, and then this is the 5x7. So you get a little bit of everything. If I can remember where I put it, I did some heat embossing with this one. Can't remember where I put it. I found it. I found it. Ah, okay. So this one is with ink, distress inks, just kind of brushed onto the paper through the stencil. And then with the embossing pen, I went over some of the edges and highlighted some of the edges and then heat embossed it with gold. Okay. And then this is the heat embossed in gold. And then one in copper. Aren't these fabulous? Look at that. I love a good shiny. All right. So for you card makers, this is a good one. For sure. All right. I'm using the 5x7 right now. I'm going to use this one. Of course, I pulled a plate that I didn't clean, but that's okay. There's some fun stuff on there. All right. We'll do a little long haul. We'll do several. Okay. All right. I'm going to say some things, use some terms. If you don't understand something that I mention or talk about, just let me know in the chat. Because I know a lot of you have seen me do this before. I know a lot of you know the terms, but definitely, ask questions if you are unsure. Just nice. That's a nice brayer off. Save that. Now we need think here. I'm trying to think of a first color. Here, I'm going to mix up some turquoise phthalo and azo gold. Quite grungy green. First few, I'm just going to use tissue. These are big enough. This is Carnival wet strength tissue that I'm using here. For my pup, I'm using medical exam paper, just because it's big enough to get around all the corners here on this plate. My Gelli paper is not big enough. but you know, ladies with amber. I don't know what he's talking. Is he talking about the stencil design, Paula? Oh, Rob, you silly goose, you. Okay. Now, if this was regular paper, this would be stuck on the stencil. It would be completely stuck because it's a Yupo stencil, which is plastic. But the nature of it is that when it's brand new, it likes to grab onto things, and that's what makes it a great tool for art. But you have to be careful how you use it. So that's why I chose the Carnival wet strength tissue because I know that's not going to stick on me. Okay. Now, once you get a good buildup of paint, you can certainly use your more regular, like your hammer mill color copy paper, stuff like that, and regular tissue. But got to be careful though when you're first using the brand new stencil because stuff will stick to it. Look how gorgeous that looks. Hello, Kathy. How are you? I've been using it for a while, Alicia. I do like it. The Paycon. Oh, nice. The Paycon is good stuff. Is it the 9x12? The sort of a creamy color. It's not white. It's got a creamy tone to it. All right. Now, the other thing with long hauls that I think some people forget is kind of you kind of want to alternate between your fluid acrylics and your heavy bodies or your medium body paints, and kind of mix it up. Oh, Robbie, Roberto, Alejandro. Do a little bit of try and do a little color mixing too on the plate. Why not? Light blue. And blue. A little bit of this magenta or magenta. Here we go. Little happy face. Just mix it right there all on the plate. And you get a lovely purple. And see, the stencil's already giving back stuff that was on the stencil. And we're just on the second layer, but see how mixing the colors right on there gives you a really unique print. It's fun, right? Really pretty stuff. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So let's try this one. This is ultramarine light. A little bit of that, maybe. Here, let's put some orange in here. Let's see what this makes. Just a little bit of orange. A little bit there, a little bit there. Thank you, Paula. Yeah. Now, if I had put more orange, it would have been a little brighter. But this is kind of like a neutral, like peachy color. Let me show you on the paper. Isn't that cool? Play around with colors. You never know what you're gonna get. And you play around with your amounts too. That makes a difference when you're mixing your plate. Cat, I know, right? Oh yeah, hot pink. Now, if you watch my the video I did where I did the Monstera leaves all over the plate, there was a point where I did use pink, and I even threw up on the screen, "Close your eyes, Mo, or look away." That's a warning. And it's not that I don't like pink, but it's not a go-to. It's not something I think about when I am arting. So, but look at this. Cool. What a great little background. And it's more intense in person. It looks a little washed out because of the lighting, but you know. Yeah. So let's see. Let's pick this up with some. Let's put some turquoise on here. This is liquid. This is a turquoise phthalo. It's all over me. Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate it. Yeah, so this will be available July 1st. You that's a week from today. Yeah. Hi, chiquita. ¿Cómo está, mi amiga? Espero que esté bien, hija. Mi hijita. Now I'm not using thick layers. It's very thin layers. But what I'm doing is I'm building up the paint around the design of the stencil to create a final print. Uh, can't complain, chiquita. Yeah. Yeah, autocorrect is not for the does autocorrect the Spanish very well. Yeah, it's a week from today. Yep, that's what I thought. Ooh, that. I love it because it's got some of the purple going on there. Very nice, very nice. Guys, oh, it's after 1 o'clock. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Much appreciated. It goes a long way to help out the channel. That's gonna hang out there for a second. I'm gonna put a pull color on this so we can pull it. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Yasutomo sketch paper. So let me think. Yellow. I'm gonna use. Yeah. I'm gonna use this light blue violet. I'm just interested to see how that works with the other colors because I've never combined these before. So let's see. If it's shite, well, then it's shite and it's just paper, and we can go over it with something else. Let's see. Okay. Isn't that cool? It creates this really cool design just by flipping the stencil over. Love it. Okay. All right, let's get back to our long hogs. We don't want this to completely dry on us. All right. Going to use this brilliant blue. Do a little bit of that, and let's do darker blue, a little bit. Just a little bit, just to break it up. Glue coming off. One sec, Paul. I'll be right with you, love. Get this down. All right. So Paula asks a very good question. The medical exam paper is the case of a quick pull off the paper or leave it to totally dry. You can do both. Now, it will rip. You got to be careful. You can't put it down on paint that's almost drying and then try and get it up in one piece. With paint that's, you got a nice little paint and it's wet, you can do a quick pull. Just got to be careful. Now, I've had no problems with with allowing it to dry completely. This print from that last video I did, or one of the last videos I did. This is the medical exam paper. And this I allowed to dry completely, and it pulled off beautifully. No rips, no nothing. So it's a matter of being patient, letting it dry, making sure there's enough paint on the plate for it to adhere to. So, those are the things you want to keep in mind when you are using the medical exam paper. But it's great in collage if you are using it for that. It glues down beautifully. So, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to ignore that, Paula. Ooh, look at this. Yeah. Look at all that. It pulled up off the stencil. Wunderbar, wunderbar. All right, let's keep going here. Let's see. You can't see Paula. Oh, Paula is Keen Design. Paula, raise your hand for all the fun people in the room. Paula is Keen Design. That is my buddy, my queen, and my fellow designer at PM Artist Studio. No, I'm not using my my bearing today. Sometimes I forget and I just use the hand. It's no big deal. My hands don't hurt today, so I'm good. So, nice green, super bright. This is one of those you can definitely add another layer to a contrasted layer. What sort of device are you using, Carol? Let's start there. What device are you watching this on? I'll see if I can walk you through it. Oh, awesome, Mariah. Yeah. All right. So I got green on the plate, right? Let's add some red. Let's see what that does. iPad. Okay. So, from what I've noticed about the whole emoji fiasco with YouTube is that the mobile apps, whether on iPad or on the phones, had issues with the emojis, not the desktop computer. So, my guess is that now they just came back for mobile users. So, like on my iPhone, if I'd go on a live chat, there was no emojis, um, like for a lot of you. Now, on the iPad, it was the same thing. So, either you may want to check to see if there's an update for your iPad, or you just have to wait until YouTube decides to update the uh, update on the iPad. Like Mariah says, they're rolling out all kinds of updates. So just be patient. My guess is they'll be back sooner than later. I'm not going to make any guesses, but I'm sure they're working on it. So be patient. Okay, let's get some paper down. That was my quinacridone magenta. I know, right? Glad I could help. Folks get very excited when they when things are changed, or the best thing to do is catch your breath, take a deep breath, and just be patient and do a little research, you know, or email the YouTubes if you have an issue. They have customer support. You email them and they can help you out too. Okay, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's really pulling a lot of good stuff up off the plate, which is nice. We want that. That's right. This is trying fast today. All right, I'm gonna go with some yellow ochre here. See, Mariah confirms that YouTube does respond and they do help most of the time. Thanks, Mariah. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. After this layer, I got to get back to that other one and add a final pull color to that. With the funky design. Cool. Old papers here. Make sure I'm not stacking them on each other because the. All right. Look here. So this was the green and the red. I'm going to put blue down to pick this up. This one, I think I'm just going to do my color coffee paper. Space to put stuff down. Oh, here's the blue. I'm going to use this light blue permanent here. Okay. That's a good one. It's tired. That's going to be fun. All right, so those will be ready to pull by the time I get done. I'll do a few more on here. Why not? Let's sprayer off paper here. It's nice and dry because some of that yellow that was on here went onto the other print, but not to worry. Not to worry. All right, so we just did yellow ochre. Gonna do some transparent red iron oxide or rust. It's basically a fancy name for rust. I'm going to throw in a little bit of this ultramarine blue. That's a lot of paint, but it'll be all right. This combo makes it's almost like a gray. Like, see, yeah, it's making a dark color, like a grayish brown, almost very earthy. Hello, hello, Shannon. How are you? Glad to have you here, even for just a few minutes. Okay. Oh, look at this one. That's a good, a great color combo. Nice. Very nice. haven't done a metallic yet. Let's get some metallics in here. Let's do some of this blue here. It's almost empty. It's blue green. Let's see how much of this I can get out of here. More than enough. Yeah. Now this will be interesting to see what it pulls up as far as the dark color that's already down on the stencil. Let me try and pick this up with some regular paper. Now, remember, regular paper, wet paint, Yupo stencil, pretty new. Don't leave it down too long or it's going to stick. So, quick as can be. Let me pull this up. And little by little, you can see, okay. Look at that. Yes. That is pretty. Now, I could have pushed harder and gotten a little bit more, but I'm not risking it. Now, if paper does stick to your stencil, really easy to fix. Put it in a container with some warm water, a little bit of like dish soap or something, and it'll come right up. Just don't go scraping at the stencil. Let it soak, and the paper will come off. It's always the corners I miss. Look at that. It's just really, look at all that. That's the paint pulling up off the stencil. Cool as that. All right, take care, Anne. Just get that blue there. Do a little bit of parchment. This should be an interesting color because of mixing with the blue. You see how it's already changing color. Apologies for the noises, guys. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. Look at that. That's fun. Let's keep going. Azo gold. No, 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 no. No, I don't want that. Let's see what else I got here. This stencil right here that's on the plate, Rosemary, is it the stencil that's on the plate here? This is my new one that'll be out July 1st. Yes, this is a new one that'll be out July the 1st. All right, everybody wants to make noise today, so apologies, guys. Hey. And working on charting. Okay. Can't be the most exciting thing, Graham, but it's got to be done, right? Yes, the 5x7 is captures a single part of this design. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's important. It's important work, Graham. That is for sure. All right. So a nice basic yellow here. This is another thing I do with my long hauls is I try to get some different, not solid, but kind of solid backgrounds. Then I can use them in different things, and adapt them to whatever I'm going to do. Boy. All right. I haven't used mauve in a while. Let's use this mauve. Let's see how that does with the yellow. Yeah, yellow is, I just put mauve on the plate, Paula. Oh, this is pretty. Check out this color. I'm gonna see if I can get some more of this stuff pulled up here. Hang on. Yeah. That's a good color. Very fall-like. Because before you know it, it'll be fall. Very cool. So what's it doing here? Not bad. I'm gonna do another one with that mauve. Let's see if I can get something darker here. Yeah. Get a little bit more pink this time. All right. Paper, paper, paper. Thanks, Jen. The one I just put down is mauve. Mauve. Just gotta be careful. We don't want this to stick, but we want to try and get up as much as possible, especially in those smaller little apertures. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. Very lovely. Let's keep going. I'm gonna do. Yes, actually, Windsor Newton has its own sort of mauve. It's permanent magenta. Is a nice one. Um, oh, here too. Their Windsor Blue is a really good one too. Let's use some of that. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah. This bad boy will be available for purchase the 1st of July, next Wednesday. It'll be available in a 5x7 and an 8x10. So just make a note to yourself. It'll all be released on the 1st. All of the new designs. We got to see Paula's new stamps yesterday at PM Art Studio for from her stencil rune blocks. They made rune block stamps, which I'm excited to get eventually. Yeah, it's a great blue. Really good. It's a transparent blue. So, and it's if you can catch those tubes of paint on sale, usually there's a really good sale on them once or twice a year. If you can catch them on sale, grab up whatever colors you can. All right, this is starting to stick, so I'm gonna pull it now. This almost stuck down. You see those edges here? It started to stick there. Yeah, see, Paula knows what's up. It's a great blue, but see, started to stick. So I'm gonna switch back over for a few minutes to the Carnival wet strength. try and get some of that paper up. And let's do a There's violet oxide. This is a good one too. Karen turned me on to this one. Just got a little nugget of paint on there. We don't want that. Hi, Mary Brown. You're sick. Oh no. You want to see it laid with the motion? I might be able to make that happen. I might could. Let's see what I can do for you, Miss Sicky. Hope you feel better soon. It's no fun being sick. But look at this. It's rich. Oh, the colors on that. All the stuff it's pulling up off the stencil too. It's so good. So good. Okay. That was a good one. And you notice I go like from dark to light and I mix it up. It gives you really more interesting prints when you mix it up. Now, if you do want to, keep it to a certain color palette, go for it. I can't. I'm too like, I don't know what it is. I got to use all the colors. So this is Arctic by Lucas Krill. Must have. Must have. That's another paint that is really good when there's a good sale on it. It's a good time to stock off on those because they're really good paints, especially for gel printing. And they're not, they won't break the bank. Trying to be a little bit. Oh, thanks. Take care, Shannon. Trying to be a little bit mindful of my brayer off. Okay. What time is it? Oh, it's 2 o'clock already. Yes, intentional, Paula. Intentional. It's the keyword. Okay, okay. Check it out. My roll-offs are intentional. You know what, Paula? Please send me that in the lightning bolt because I do love that one. I love that one. One stick. Running out of surfaces to put the stuff on. All right. So I think I'm going to do one more color on this. I'm going to pull it up to stencil, and then going to I'll do I'll take some of the other prints that I did already on this and add we can add, what do you call it, emulsion to it for Mary Brown. What's this? This is raw umber. There's a cork in here. Huh? I don't know why there's a cork, but oh, a little bit there, a little bit there. Front, under, a little bit of this terracotta on here. Bloop. We'll mix it up and see what happens. Throw in a little bit of this ultramarine blue just to darken it up a little, change it up a little bit. And I'm doing this because there's a lot of that light color left on the stencil. So it should be like for an interesting print. Hello, Lively. How are you? Thank you for watching. Carla, just put a big old floppy hat on and go out there and do your thing. Right. Right. These edges here. Let's see. A little too much paint. So I'm gonna grab another piece of tissue and pull up the rest of that. That did not go how I wanted to, but that's okay. Just gonna add a little bit of more of this fluid acrylic here to pick up the rest of this. Oh, Mariah, you're such a prude. Shirt and pants. So sound like my mom. Put your pants on, Eddie. You're going outside. Oh, we are silly. Mom, I don't want to go out in my pants. Look at that. See, I knew once we got down to the nitty gritty, it'd be much better. That blue helped too. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull the stencil off. So this is what we have left. This is gonna dry, and then we can pull a print off of that. Let me pull these prints that we already did here. With that. Crusty. Okay. It's just one of the ones we did earlier with my this design I'm testing. I bet, Mariah. I bet. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Nice. Got one more for you. All right. Okay. Look at that. Now, I could have used two stronger colors, but remember, this green wasn't as strong because I pulled up a lot of it with the stencil. But not too bad. So let me find my emulsion. I know I had it here this morning. Sign. No, I just cleaned it. So in here somewhere. With the emulsion. I just want to see if there's this yellow one. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's get some paint down on here. So we want to do the emulsion. This is the emulsion stencil from PM Artist Studio. It's by Brad. All right, so you see that's what that's going to look like there. Let's get a color that will work. Use some cerulean blue. And a little bit of indigo, a little bit. Careful, don't yank too hard. You don't want to rip your stench off. I'll get to the side for a moment. A little wrinkle. Not going to worry about it. Put this. Put that down. Okay. That's the thing about gel printing is you got to move. Especially if you want to do certain things. Like I want to get the paint off the stencil and do a flop off. So get my plate here while it's still wet. Get it down. Go for a sprayer. And there we go. We could do another print on this one. All right, Mary Brown, you see that? Look at that. How hot is that? I'll give you a closer peek. Very, very nice. Okay. There. This one is still a little bit wet. I'm going to wait on that. The green one is ready to go. So, what are we going to do with this green one? I'm thinking with the green, we want to do some purple. Let me get a little bit of lavender on here. Come on. A little bit of lavender, not too much. Let's see. I think I just lost a whole thing of purple. There it is. I found it. All right, guys, mix it up, mix it up. You'd think I live in a war zone by all these sirens, but I don't. Get this tissue down. All right, let's get this. That a second. I'm gonna flop this down onto here on the opposite way. There we go. Look at that. That's gonna be a fun one. So this way you'll see from the front. Oui, oui. All right. And nice. Look at that. And that's why I didn't overmix the paint. You should get these really cool pops of the different colors. Love it. Let's see what other ones I can do here. Let's do that one. Okay. This one. Let's see if I can pick any of that up. So. Not much of that's coming up. That's okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do then. Get some of this. Oof. My fingers are all painty and gluey. We. Where's the motion? There you are, love. There you are, my love. It still has some purple on it, so I'm just gonna go with the purple. Where did I put it? Ah, this one will do it. The darker purple. And maybe some of this, no, because we already got Arctic in here. Let's not do that. Oh, you know what? I can add some of this metallic violet. Now, if you're pulling your stencil off the plate and it starts to resist, don't yank. Just try and grab it from a different point and find a different way. Otherwise, you're going to end up ripping your stencil. All right, go turn your bird, Paul. I don't want that to burn. All right, let's lay this. Oh, that went under. So I'm just gonna use my finger here. Clean that up. Okay. Yes, don't be a yanker. Now, if you do happen to rip your stencil or tear it a little bit, I know Mariah and P were talking about this yesterday at their live stream, but use a little washi tape that can help hold it together. Make sure it's like dry, the stencil's dry and all that. All right, here we go. Look at that. Super, super, super. I'm going to leave this to dry on there and I'll pull it with something else later. If I'm getting paint off the stencil, just shit. There's plenty on here. Good to go. All right. There we go. This will be for another day. See how this one's coming along. This one. I think we can get a full color down on this one here. Got here. So some tissue down here so you can see what's going on. This has a lot of darker colors showing some greens or teals, a little red and browns. I think we're okay with, most colors. So what do you guys think? Give me some ideas. Paper, so that pull that way. All right, Kat. So we can do a combination of these two here. We can do that. And if we did, let's do some gold. We'll do an ombre. Let's do an ombre. And right. So I'm going to go with gold down the middle. And let's see here. We'll do some Arctic here. And we'll do this is turquoise. Over yonder. Now, if you guys heard all that noise in the background, that is the main reason I can't go live all the time. Because I live with someone who doesn't know how to be quiet for a couple of hours. They're just not built that way. And that's a big problem I've been having lately is my family really could give two flying fudges what I do. So they're not very supportive of my work. A lot of them don't even know what I do because they could care less. So it's a big issue. And it's just not about like, a little bit here and there. It's just all the time. And, I'm made to feel like a bad guy in my own space. But, that's why I need to get out of here. All right, let's get this down. I think you made a good choice, Kat, on those colors. Okay. Well, the thing is I can hear it, and it's like so annoying because I'm trying to like think and talk to you guys, but then I've got this racket going on behind me. That's obviously loud, but instead of me going off while I'm on the live, I'm trying to bite my tongue here and not, start World War III because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Ooh, look at this. Look at that edge. It's so pretty. So, okay. But this is why I love doing lives with you guys. It makes me happy, happy. We get to create together. I love the live interactions and all that. And yeah. So I will do more as much as I can and when I can. All right. There we go. I think this is gonna be a good one. Which paper? Hi, Evelyn. I didn't see you come in. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is not stretchy. This is a medical exam paper. It might look stretchy, but it's not. Maybe like it has like a little bit of like a, just because there's stuff on it, but it's not really stretchy. It's very thin. This is gonna be spectacular. Look at that. All right, so hopefully I can pull this before the end of the stream. I'm not scheduled to do anything like any specific time, so I'm gonna keep going until I drop. Oh, let's get some color on this one. This is a cool one. All right, color for this one while I organize some space over here for more stuff. Green, green, teal, orange, light blue, orange. Now y'all know what the orange is going to do to the blue, right? So don't be disappointed. It may change the purple too, but I'm going to do it. That way we can all see how those colors intermingle. All right. This is cadmium orange. Now this is it's a thin. It's not a very opaque orange, so you know it might not disturb the colors too much. But don't forget, as the paint dries, it melts and it soaks into the other layers. So we may get what's on the paper? We may get some change in color. Yeah, it's a good learning lesson, you know. So go. All right, let's take a peek. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think it's good. This is funky, isn't it? Totally 70s lava lamp vibes, right? I love it. This one's going to be a good one. Okay. Saint sad. Oh, and like another thing about family is like they're all over social media. I'm all over social media. They see what I post. Yet nobody ever comments or likes any of the things I post. And nobody ever comes to a live stream. I've had one family member come to a live stream, and that was almost 2 years ago. And they didn't even stay very long. Family can be very toxic. Muy toxic. Let's get emulsion back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my my altered ribbon stencil here. Let's do that. Oh shoot, my big plates are all occupado. Okay. Yours is the 9 by 12. Oh, it's covered. Okay. Ah, I know you are. You're a different family, though. You're my chosen family. That's different. I'm talking about the people who should be supportive. I saw this video of this kid. He was graduating high school and he had his phone and he's like filming himself and he's looking around. And he's like, and basically, and he's like, yeah, nobody showed up. Could you imagine graduating high school and nobody in your family showed up? God, like how disgusting is that? Um, but he's had a flood of support, and he's holding an event to thank a lot of these people that helped him out and like reached out, raised money, did whatever for him, because his own family couldn't even be bothered, and they're having this big thing for him. So you know, like you said, Paula, we are your family, and it's that's the thing is, you know, you got to seek out your own. That was the one thing I was so happy about when I graduated culinary school. My mom got to see me graduate. She died at like about a year or so later. So it was I was lucky to get that. Very lucky. She was able to see me accept my degree with honors. She bought her own chef hat so she could wear a chef hat too. It was so cute. To find that picture and post it for you guys. Yeah. And that's the thing is when you lose your biggest cheerleader, oh, it messes you up. Really does. Yeah, yeah, that is for sure, Paula. That is for sure. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. We love you, Mary Brown. Yeah, unfortunately, during the pandemic, I lost a lot of family members, uncles and stuff. It's pretty sad. Um, that was a shitty, shitty time. Indeed. Oh, look at that. Love that. Because that blue, like you saw, it's fluorescent blue. It's semi-transparent, and when you roll it thin enough, it can be pretty transparent. That's gonna be sick. I'm gonna give that a few minutes. I should be able to pull it soon. Okay. Yeah, no, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, my plates are smaller. Oh, I forgot. We did this on here. We just got to do a second layer. Where's that little down? All right, so we're gonna flip it over and add another layer. That's right. That's right, Paula. All right. So this was, I forgot what that was. I think that was the Azo Gold that I put down. Yeah, I think that's that was the Azel Gold. Um, let's put down the darker blue. Let's use this phthalo blue. What song was that? I totally missed it. I'm like, I don't even know what I said. Okay. So this is a much better version of what I was trying to show you earlier of how, these layer nicely together. As you can see, look how cool that is like that. Very funky. Nothing. This one, there's enough paint here. I can do a layer on here. Yes. There we go. Oh, yeah, I do that. And it looks different because this plate is yellowed from use. Yellowed because I used alcohol inks on it a long time ago. But it doesn't mess up your plate. It just yellows the plate because of the pigments. That's all. It's not. It doesn't damage your plate. Let's clean this off on here. The good blue. It's the phthalo blue. Phthalo blue is a strong one. So, all right, so this is the long haul pull, guys. This is ready to go. It's hot in here, and stuff's drying nicely. So I'm gonna pull it. That's right, Paul. It ain't shy. One of my favorites too, Meg. Especially in watercolor. Phthalo blue and watercolor is really nice. Look at that. Look at that. Good choices, Cat. Very, very nice. Oh, I'm so excited. That turned out so good. Oh, my favorite cake or pastry? Chocolate. It's easy. Chocolate. Anything with chocolate. When I was growing up, my dad was a baker for a long time, and he would make these huge cakes, like a sheet cake, right? Like big one. And then because my brother's birthday is on the 16th of July, mine's the first, and my aunt is one of my aunts is on one of my mom's sisters, hers is on the 4th. So like he would do a cake for each of us. So we would do the big sheet cake and then three small ones on top. Oh my God, how amazing. I love that. That is going on my favorite pile. All right. So we want to use this one. No, 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 no. This one. All right. So this is my revamped ribbonized stencil. I want to use, and let's put down something a lot lighter than this brown. We can chaz this up. You like chocolate too? Paula, I was king of soccer tort in culinary school. Baking was my jam. Um, that was they loved when I had baking exams because I would always come home with boxes and boxes of cake and pastries and all that stuff. I had I've made the soccer tort. I think I have a lot of photos. I should find some of those old food photos of from culinary school and post some of those. That would be hilarious. Something peachy, yes. Something peachy. Let me get my 5x7s. Nope, can't mix the paint on there. Here, mix it on one of these. This is food to go lid. All right. How can we make peach? Well, let me get my color wheel here. So the closest to peach on this color wheel here is my is orange, right? So, should we start with that or should we start with yellow, red, and then add some white? I think I'm going to start with a little bit red, a little bit yellow, and then add white. I think that's a good way to go. So, we here. This is cadmium yellow. Oh, my 30th birthday. That was fun. So, my friends, I'm going to use the deep cadmium red. A little bit of that. I was living in Florida, and my friends hired a stripper to come to the party at the house or the condo. Let's just say a lot of fun was had. It wasn't like nudity. It wasn't like nude, anything like that. But it was a lot of fun. Oh my god, we had a good time. Like the guy stayed after and hung out with us because he was having such a good time with us. We were a very fun crew, to say the least. Oh god, it's a palette knife. All right, so let's do some little orange. Not the best mixing palette, but we'll get through it. Some white. That's why I like my gel plate to mix the paint on. I favor a bunch. Take care, Graham. Don't work too hard. Get a little bit more blanco. Right. Ooh, German chocolate cake. Very good. Good stuff. Pain au chocolat. Oh, so good. All right, I like that. I'm not going to over mix it. I'm just going to slap it down on here because as I'm brayering it out, whatever it might mix in, I'm gonna stress about that. There we go. What are you trying to say, Chiquita? A Maori Gouchon? I don't know what that is. This is my stencil ribbon eye that I have altered. Once I pull this, I'll show you the original and versus the new one. It's got more openings. It's got more orifices. Black Forest is great too. Yes. this sucker down. Clean this stencil up on this paper here. Ooh, that sounds great, Alicia. When I was working in Florida, and we had an employee, older lady. She was retired, but she worked part time for us for extra money, and she would make rum cakes for the holidays. Girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, chocolatier. That's a whole nother level of baking that I pastries and stuff that I never got to do, but it's fascinating. It takes a lot of talent. Um, what was I saying? Um, oh, she would make these rum cakes for the holidays, and she'd always bring one in and put it in the back room. So whenever we had a quick break, we'd go back there and sneak a bite. By the end of my shift, I was lit. I didn't realize how much rum she was putting in them. Like literally, like a jug. All right, who called out for the peach? Because that was a good call. I think it was Mary Brown. Look at that. Woo, that's a good one. So you notice this? That's what I did. That's this the updated stencil, right? So like if I put the updated in front of the old stencil, you notice how many solid surfaces there are in the older stencil below, right? Yeah, we would get tipsy, and ain't nothing wrong with that. It's Florida. Everybody's always on something there. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Tell you, I was in Florida long enough to see the madness. Oh, it was fun down there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. All right, for this one, I think I'm gonna go monochromatic almost. I'm gonna use my burnt orange metallic. Someone called out orange metallic earlier, and it's stuck in my brain that I wanted to use it. So there we go. Appropriate time. It's almost 3 o'clock, guys. I'm gonna keep going until I pass out. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go on for a little bit longer. Yeah, pastry can be tough. It's very technical, but I found it fascinating. I loved baking, um, my baking courses, and then I did a lot of it in one of the restaurants I worked at, one of the big larger ones. Actually, even in my smaller restaurant, I did a lot of baking. I made the rolls for our sliders. Um, One of my favorite things to do at a restaurant I worked at was making the popovers for our lobster popovers, and we basically did it like the British popovers. What do they call them? I don't know. Anyway, so basically, you make a batter, popover batter. It's very thin. It's like a popcorn, pancake batter, but a little bit thinner. You chill it in the fridge. Usually overnight is good. and then you take your popover tin and you put it in a um, very hot oven with butter, melted butter, and you get that nice and hot. And then you take it out. It's extremely hot. I burnt myself many times, but then you pour your batter over that, and then you put that back in the oven, and those suckers pop up like, oh, so good. And then we would take beautiful pieces of lobster and saute them with um, brandy or cognac and so actually sometimes oftentimes I used honey whiskey, and I would use Lyle's golden syrup and some other lovely things, and we'd saute the lobster with that and then put it into the popover. One of the most popular dishes on the menu. I don't know if the chef is still around. I don't know if she still makes them in her restaurants. I think she has one restaurant. Her son has another one, but they're very good. Yeah, it's like a Yorkshire pudding. Yeah. Yes. Oh, look at that. Come on. You don't see this on other channels. Toad in the hole, but without the toad. More hole. And then we stuff that hole with lobster. That was another job of mine was when the lobsters came in from the fishermen, I would take them and put them in the steamer, get them all cooked off, and then get them ready to go for whatever we're going to use them for. And then I would also do grilled lobsters on a big wood fired grill. That was fun. No, I like that. Let me see what else I got here. Add another layer to here. This yellow. Let's add another layer to this yellow here. We can do another stencil. Let's see, because that one's still wet. Uh, 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 uh. All right, we're gonna go crazy. We're gonna do blue metallic. Might be too much. That's okay. Stuff that whole yeah. I did a lot of stuff. Maybe today I'll spend some time digging through my archives of old food photos and show you some of the creations I made. Not the best because a lot of them are taken on a cheap phone. You know. But, okay. Oh, this is almost a color combo. Too funny. Come on up. Come on up. La 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 la. Nice. Flop this onto here. Get some of that paint off. Beautiful. Okay, so what are those things? You know, what's the tree where those little things fall off and they spin around, and then when you're a kid, you like can tear open the thicker bit and then put it on your nose. What are those? What is that tree? Is it from the oak tree? I think that's what it is. Because this is what that's what this reminds me of. Girl, go to the bathroom. You won't miss much. You don't want to give yourself a bladder infection. Maple tree seeds. I think it acorn because like whatever the helicopters. Yes, yes. Maples. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And sometimes they'd stick, and sometimes a sycamore, a sycamore. Look at Mariah doing all smart stuff. I googled it. Thank you, Mariah. Sycamore. I told you it was inappropriate conversation for for the thing. Maple tree. Okay, yeah. We have a lot of them back in my town around the lake, and they're everywhere. And oh yeah, we had fun as kids. It's that simple fun, running around like goobers with those things, whirly birds. That's what it is. Whirly birdies. Yes. Oh, take care, Rosemary. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thank you, Becky. That's what it is. Whirly birds. Child, look at that. Oh, exciting. Yeah. That's so funny. All right, so let me check out my other plate. Let's see what's going on. I'm gonna wrap this up. Oh, let's get some paint on this guy here. All right, take care, Chiquita. Bye, Penka. Thanks. I have said the score low. Yeah, like we have a lot of both back then. Back in my old neighborhood, the acorn trees, the acorns, and the helicopters. Everything, a little bit of everything, and morning glory flowers. They're everywhere, but they're so beautiful when they'll. You walk around in the morning, early morning, and they're all blooming. Ah, so nice. So very, very nice. Mhm. Spring back. Nobody wants to stay on their hook. Look, Paula, that last one that we did, the metallic. Carolina cherries. Ooh, nothing like a fresh cherry. Oh, so good. Very, very good. I'm going to give this a hit of this Arctic. No, I mean like, yeah, no, I only eat the regular ones. That's it. No. Trying to clean up some edges. There you go. There we go. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to pick this up hard with the 8.5 by 11 paper. Ooh, that's going to be fun. But that has to dry. Okay. Let's see. All right. That's hot. This one turned out so good. That's right, Evelyn. It's not bad, not bad. We did good with that one. Okay. Clean that off on here. Here we go. An extra layer there. Let that dry. One more pull. And I think that'll be it for the day. And then Karen comes on at 4 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, 3 p.m. Central. There we go. This is with that fluorescent blue. Nice. Well, thank you guys very much for joining me today. I'm glad you got the chance to hang out for a little while. You got to see my new stencil. That'll be out next Wednesday. And yeah, so thanks so much. Take care. And don't forget to hit like if you haven't liked. And if you're not subscribed yet, why not? Great. Take care, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Bye.